Hey, what's going on, you guys? So in this video, I wanted to share with you the way that I like to solve pronoun questions on the SAT. Now, this is the exact method that I use. It's helped me kind of get pronoun questions correct pretty much almost always with certainty and confidence. And it's the exact method that I use to teach and train, right, thousands of my students. And they tell me that it really helps them, understand the correct answer a lot more easily. So the strategy looks like this. When you guys are solving pronoun questions, you want to think about pronouns in like two different ways. You want to think about pronouns in a grammatical way, and you want to think about pronouns in a logical way. So what do I mean by that? So when you think about pronouns in a grammatical way, you want to make sure that the pronoun is written, right, following all of the rules of grammar. So what I mean by that is if you notice answer choice A and answer choice C, the difference between A and C is that A is a singular pronoun and C is a plural pronoun, right? So now if the noun that the pronoun is referring to is a singular noun, then you want to make sure to use the singular pronoun, right? So using a plural pronoun would violate the rules of grammar, right? So this is where grammatically, right, the plural pronoun wouldn't be correct. Okay, so considering pronouns at that grammatical level is one tip. The second way that you want to consider pronouns is logically. Logically is just basically what makes sense, right? What makes logical sense? Okay, so you know that pronouns are just general words that replace nouns, right? Well, your job is to figure out what noun this pronoun is replacing. Now, how do you figure that out? You figure that out by kind of thinking or understanding the passage logically and kind of thinking about the logical answer to that question, right? What noun does this pronoun refers to? So this is what it kind of looks like in practice. So let me take you guys through exactly the way that I train my students. Now, I want you guys to read the passage, but when you guys are reading the passage, just try to understand the context and just try to understand just generally what it is the writer is saying. Okay, so it says, scientists believe that unlike most other species of barnacle, turtle barnacles, and you have this in parentheses. By the way, you guys, you don't have to read. Don't waste your time kind of reading this to pronounce it correctly. Just, the SAT puts in these long, difficult to pronounce words to try to throw you off and distract you. Don't fall for it, okay? When you have words that are in parentheses, it just kind of, in this case, right, you know that CH test, right? This just kind of is the scientific name for turtle barnacles, right? So information that's inside of parentheses just kind of refers back to what was previously talked about. In this case, it's just giving you the scientific name, right, of this animal species. As long as you know that, it's okay, right? You're not going to get points taken off if you don't know how to pronounce this term correctly, right? I have no idea. You don't want to waste your time with that either, okay? So what you can do here is you can say CT, right? Or you can just say, you can try to pronounce it however you want to pronounce it. You can have fun with it, right? But just don't waste your time is the point that I'm trying to make. So you can say Telonidia testunindari, whatever, right? I like to say CT, as long as you know it's referring to the turtle barnacles, right? That's the most important thing, okay? So it says that turtle barnacles can dissolve the cement-like secretions they use to attach it to a sea turtle shell, enabling the barnacles to move short distances across the shell's surface. So guys, my questions to you is, right, they can dissolve the cement-like secretions they use to attach what, right? To attach what, right? So to attach what to a sea turtle shell, right? Enabling the barnacles to move short distances across the shell surface. So this is where logically you have to think about, right, what noun this pronoun is referring to. So based on your understanding of the passage, right, you're gonna have to figure out the logical answer to this question. Now, it seems like, right, when you guys are reading this passage, it's really referring to the turtle barnacles themselves, right? So it's saying that these turtle barnacles can dissolve the cement-like secretions they use to attach themselves, right? So they're attaching themselves to a sea turtle shell, right? Now, when they attach to a shell, what does that do? that allows the barnacles to move short distances across the shell surface, right? So logically, right, it makes sense that the turtle barnacles are attaching themselves to this shell, and by doing so, it allows the barnacles to move short distances across the shell surface, right? So just by, considering, right, the logical answer to that question. And if you need to reread the passage, you can, but that's your focus, right? They dissolve the secretions they use to attach what to a sea turtle shell, right? Understanding, you want to figure out the logical answers to that question, okay? And so you know that it's referring to the animals themselves, right? So now so B is the correct answer, but before we could just kind of rapidly jump into it, this is what I want you guys to kind of see, okay? So we know that it's referring to the turtle barnacles, right? It enables the barnacles. Okay, so this word, barnacles is the noun that this pronoun is replacing, right? That's called an antecedent, okay? But this is what I want you guys to know or do, is this is where grammatically, right, you have to choose the correct pronoun, okay? So that when you guys see the word barnacles or turtle barnacles, ask yourselves, is this a singular or a plural noun, right? So ask you guys that question. Is barnacles a singular or a plural noun? Think about it for a second. Answer. Say it out loud, right? You guys are going to say it's a plural noun, right? How do you know it's a plural noun? Because it has an S to it, right? So when we have nouns that have an S at the end of it, right, it's pretty much plural, right? Not always, but almost always. So if you have the word book, that's singular, but books is plural, right? If you have a kid, that's singular, but kids, that's plural, right? So attaching the S to the end of nouns, right, is a way to create the plural noun form, right, for regular nouns, okay? So we know that because this is a plural noun, we know that grammatically, right, we have to have a plural pronoun to replace this plural noun. So this is why we can get rid of answer choices A and D, right? Because these answer choices violate the rules of grammar, right? It's not grammatically correct to say it, right, when the sentence is referring to the turtle barnacles in the plural form, not the singular form. So we get rid of A and D. Now next, we'll go one step further for you guys. What's the difference between themselves and them? Okay, so this is a cool sort of grammar concept that not a lot of students know, is we have these self words, right? Words like themselves, myself, itself, himself, herself, right? These self words, okay? There's two types of self words that will appear on the SAT. One of those is what is known as a reflexive pronoun, and the other is known as an emphatic pronoun. Okay, emphatic pronoun. Right, and then them is just a regular sort of object pronoun, right? It's just kind of like saying, I cooked dinner for them, right? I gave the book to them. It's just a regular sort of object type of pronoun that you guys are familiar with, okay? But I'm sure that you guys aren't familiar. Not a lot of you guys are familiar with self words. So I'll teach you guys just the sort of grammar rules, right, for the two types of self words that you might see on the SAT. So the first, you guys, is going to be the emphatic pronoun. Okay, so the emphatic pronoun kind of is what it sounds like. Emphatic pronoun just adds emphasis. So it emphasizes the noun. Okay, so usually when you have emphatic pronouns written in sentences, emphatic pronouns will come right after the noun, right, that it refers to or emphasizes. So if you say something like, I myself ate the entire pizza, right? I myself. So myself is just emphasizing the noun or the subject I, right? So it's basically just kind of saying, hey, nobody helped me out. My mom didn't help me. My dad didn't help me. My brothers didn't help me, right? My friends didn't help me, but I myself, right? I did it all myself. I ate that entire pizza, So emphatic pronouns just kind of add emphasis to the subject, okay? But reflexive pronouns are different. So they're created the same way. They're still self words like myself and himself and yourself and themselves, but reflexive pronouns kind of function differently. Now, reflexive pronouns, what they do is that they reflect the action of the verb back onto the subject. You guys are like, what? What did he just say? Right? So again, reflexive pronouns reflect the action of the verb back onto the subject. So for example, if I say something like, I hit myself, right? I hit myself in the head, right? Or if I say Jack hit himself. Okay, so this is basically, the self word here is a reflexive pronoun now, right? Again, it reflects the action of the verb, right? What is the action of the verb? The action of the verb is to hit. So when you say Jack hit himself, it's reflecting the action of the verb back onto the subject, right? Jack is hitting Jack, right? So Jack is hitting Jack. Jack is not hitting somebody else, right? He's hitting Jack, right? Now, that's what a reflexive pronoun does, right? Now, that's different from a regular object pronoun, because now if I said Jack hit him, now that means something different, doesn't it? Right? When I say Jack hit himself, who is Jack hitting? Is Jack hitting Jack, or is Jack hitting someone else? Well, Jack's hitting Jack, right? But if I say Jack hit him, who is Jack hitting? Is he hitting himself? Is he hitting Jack, or is he hitting someone else? Right? He's hitting someone else. So can you see how, right, using the self word and using a regular object pronoun kind of changes the meaning, right, of that sentence, right? So it's going to change logically the meaning of the sentence. So now, if you plug in answer choice C here, if it says the turtle barnacles can dissolve the cement-like secretions they use to attach them, what are they attaching now, right? Attach them to a shell. What are they attaching, right? Are they attaching the turtle barnacles, or are they attaching something else? Well, if you plug in answer choice C, it means that they're attaching something else to the shell. But that doesn't make any logical sense, right? It doesn't make any logical sense. Your brain goes, wait a second. Your brain kind of struggles to understand the meaning. It goes kind of like, what? Right? What did I just read? You're not sure. And that's why answer choice C is wrong, right? Is because even though, right, it is referring to a plural noun, when you say them instead of themselves, right, it's referring to a different noun, a noun other than, right, the turtle barnacles. Okay. And that's where logically this answer choice will break down. It won't make any sense, right? So this is why, right, answer choice B here, right, definitively is going to be the correct answer for this question. Okay. So guys, just to kind of recap for pronoun questions, remember, right, you want to think about pronouns on two levels, right? Think about pronouns at a grammatical level, so is it singular or plural? And two, think about pronouns at a logical level, right? So read the passage and understand what it is the writer is trying to say. And then from there is ask yourself, right, what's the logical answer to this question, right? So the barnacles dissolve the structure, the secretions they use to attach what? What are they attaching to a shell? So considering the logical answer to that question, right, is how you want to solve pronoun questions, okay? And that'll be it. So if you guys just practice that a couple of times, you guys will be able to turn even the hardest pronoun questions, right, into your best friend. You'll be able to get these questions correct pretty much almost always. All right, you guys. So make sure, please, to comment in the comment box below one thing that you learned from this that was helpful for you in this video. Also, let me know one thing that you want to learn. And please make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Like the video, and please subscribe to this channel. It really helps to spread the message to other students, right, who are committed to improving their SAT scores. Guys, again, if you guys don't know, my name is Jin Teacher. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to always stay curious. Never stop learning. Keep moving forward, you guys. You got this.